So this next segment is about the quarterback competition and the latest information that I have following Saturday's practice. There's a lot of people out there that are going to have information. This is the information that I was passed along, okay? And the way that the source phrased it to me is if Florida State had a game this Saturday. The first thing that I will say is that there is a very deep competition at quarterback. You already know that. That is not earth-shattering. Austin Mack looks absolutely fantastic. Like the last two practices, Austin Mack has been phenomenal, to be honest. This is his third year within this type of system. Keelon Russell is much better than we even anticipated. Like, I would have thought he might need much more time to get acclimated, and that's not the case. Like, he's right there. And if you look at like a horse race, this is like very, very tight. Now, if they were to play this Saturday, it would be Ty Simpson, according to the source that I spoke to. That's not earth-shattering. I'm sure your jaw's not dropping. I think that's actually really good news. You want the guy who has the most experience at this point in time, who's waited, who's operated the playbook, at least Coach Keelon DeBoer's for one season, to have a crack at it. I've never really thought that just because he didn't play much last season, I never thought that he wasn't capable to be the guy. I just thought there was a lot going on with the quarterback and the head football coach last year. I never translated that to Ty is not good enough to play here. And I think the coaches would have communicated that to Ty. So if they played Florida State this weekend, Ty would be your starter. And I think Ty will be the starter against Florida State when they actually play, later on this year. Now, Coach Keelon DeBoer clearly has options for a solid number 2 quarterback. Now, it's going to be between these guys. Austin Mack is having a really good spring. They practiced under, 6 times. So take that with a grain of salt. And Keelon Russell, he is the prototypical quarterback that Ryan Grubb wants, that Coach Keelon DeBoer wants. He has it all. He has every single thing that you want your quarterback to have. But the quarterback competition is very tight. It's very competitive. And the quarterback position, from my understanding, we're not going to know the starter even after this Frankenstein spring game. There will be no starter named. And I think we'll continue to have these guys battle. Coach Keelon DeBoer will, going into August camp. Can you imagine that quarterback competition by that point in time? I mean, did you see? Think about this. The spring break footage that we saw, Keelon Russell. He looked bigger. It was like everything that we want a quarterback to be, he's got it. And then Austin Mack, I mean, who doesn't want a 6'6", 230-pound quarterback? That's like the guy that you dream about on these silly video games. Let me ask you a question inside the comment box. Do you feel that Alabama is in a better situation at quarterback at this point in time right now compared to last year? I think they are. I think it's a clean slate. I think Ryan Grubb, even though he said he's going to work with the entire offense, he specifically told us that he's going to focus most of his time with the quarterbacks. You have Nick Sheridan, and I know a lot of people don't like his offensive play calling, but at least he can be back there and be kind of a second eyes for Ryan Grubb. And you have Coach Keelon Russell, who I think is more of an offensive-minded coach. So for the first time since really 2020, I think that the quarterback room is really going to be taken care of. And not a lot of people have been talking about Ty Simpson because I feel for the past 9 years covering Alabama football, it's never necessarily the starter that gets a lot of the preseason hype here. It's always the backup. And specifically at Alabama, you always have a 5-star quarterback coming in that people can't wait to see on the field. I'm like Keelon Russell, my goodness. Like what he did on the high school football field was so tremendous. It was phenomenal. But we've seen this part before. And even though we've seen it before, we're still talking about the other guys behind. But I think that Ty Simpson right now is the front runner. And don't get mad about that. That's not like throwing shade at Austin Mack or Keelon Russell. That's where we're at this point in time on March 24th. They have a scrimmage this Thursday. That could change things. And I don't think that Ty is in the spot to be the front runner because like he stuck around or like loyalty. Like I think that he's capable, the most capable right now to win games. I will also say too that I feel that if he can't get the job done, that Coach Keelon Russell won't do what he did last season and just keep his quarterback in that isn't performing to the highest level. The second year for Coach Keelon Russell is what we're all watching. And I think Marshall says it right inside the comment box. May the best quarterback win. Let me ask you a question real quick before we open up the comment box. Do you feel that Ty Simpson, let me ask you, let me phrase it like this. Do you think that whichever quarterback starts, we're just going to see one quarterback, or do you think we'll see multiple quarterbacks this year kind of vying for the spot? It kind of feels to me right now that we might see the quarterback battle go into the season. Couple games in. I definitely don't want to see them swapping out quarterbacks and playing like two quarterbacks. That's just not it. That's never been it. It's got to be like one guy has to win the job. So that's quarterback for today. And you have Thursday, you have a scrimmage. Things will probably change. Maybe we'll hear a little bit more on Ty Simpson because, to be honest, it seems like there hasn't been a lot of people really talking about Ty at this point in time. And that's just because I think people are so excited about Keelon getting here and, Austin Mack's progression. But I haven't heard anything negative about Ty. I just want to, see how these quarterbacks continue to do on Thursday. I'll open up the back end for some questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop it inside the comment box. Army3275 says, Kyle, what's happening with special teams, kicker and punter? Hey, this is an area that I need, I'm not sure. I think from what Coach Keelon Russell recently said in his last interview, he said that he hasn't seen Connor Talty, who would presumably be the next kicker, that he hasn't seen him make a bad kick. I thought that was promising, but I feel that the special teams, not kick returner, punt returner, that'll be easy. But he also said replacing James Burnham is going to be really difficult. Hell yeah. my biggest issues, actually, my biggest concerns might have moved to the special teams rather than right tackle. I might be more worried about kicker and punter than I am like the offensive line. Just because this schedule, you imagine having some new guys like step in to replace Graham Nicholson, Will Riker, and James Burnup? I don't know. And this is a hell of a schedule. All right, what else we got? Max Tooney saying Talty speaks English. Lance says Kendrick Law had no kick return skills or moves. He was fast. He returned that one like 52 yards last year, and then he fumbled. Remember that? And I think same thing happened with Emmanuel Henderson. Man, I liked Emmanuel Henderson. I mean, I still do. I was just kind of rooting for him. He seemed like he was going to be a really good player here. GLX is saying, where do I think Milroe would go? The only place that I've seen, I mean, everybody would answer this inside the comment box if I asked everybody. Where Jalen Milroe would go? The Steelers. It seems like the Steelers are really excited about giving him an opportunity. I don't know if that'd be a first round or wherever, but I guess so. What do they have? Justin Fields? Because Russell Wilson, I think, got let go. Who knows? That's like, and not only where he will go, but the biggest question is like, what will happen with Jalen Milroe in the NFL? And when he just ran his 4.3, like, I wasn't surprised. We already knew he's fast. But things did work out well for him at the pro day, which I was happy about because that guy has been under a lot of scrutiny. Oh my goodness. Elliot, what's up, man? Do you think Jake Kirkpatrick will see more playing time this year? Yeah, it looks like it. I think we should watch him at that Husky position. So I think the Husky position, it sounds like Cam Calhoun might be the guy for that spot. But I think they're also giving guys opportunities for next in line at Husky. And I think Drake Kirkpatrick is fitting in there. So I watch for Drake Kirkpatrick to get on the field. I know he got on the field maybe a couple times last time. Like, you know, I don't even know how many snap counts he had. I don't think there was very many. But, yeah, I think we'll see a little bit more from him this year, which would be dope. He's completely different from his pops, right? His pops is a little bit more rangy. But I think Drake Kirkpatrick brings a little bit. He's more physical, I would say. North Alabama Storm Chase says, does Bray Hubbard lead the team in INTs this season? Hey, in North Alabama Storm Chase, I did get your email, so thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Does he lead the team in interceptions this year? I don't know. The team had a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers last year, right? A lot of forced turnovers. I think, let me ask you, outside of LT Overton, let me ask you this. Two things. Who do you think will have most interceptions this year? A corner or a safety? Maybe Damani Jackson. If they challenge him. I could see Bray. I mean, he had, 2 interceptions last year? When did he return to the house? I don't know. That's a good question. And I was also going to ask you guys, who do you think will have most sacks, I guess, after LT Overton? GLX inside the comment box is saying, I like how Keelon lets different people return punts, but I don't want Ryan Williams to get hurt late in a blowout. Yeah, the only thing, I play Ryan Williams at punt returner in high-profile games, period. The game is tight. Ryan Williams has something about him. He just has it. Some people do, and he's one of them. Ryan Williams could do anything in the world. Seriously, that guy has an amazing personality. He's got the Hollywood, but he's more humble than he shows. And on the field, he's the best player. So I think that let me ask you this. Let's say Alabama and Georgia, they're tied, I don't know, 21-21, third quarter. And, Georgia's punting. I want Ryan Williams back there. Now, I don't want Ryan Williams returning punts against, I don't know, some of the games where Alabama's a double-digit favorite or when the game's out of reach. But big game ability, I want my best player back there, period. Antoine chiming in, he says, Keon Sabin leading interceptions and give me Quay Rusa and second in sacks. I like that. I was thinking about that too. Army has some breaking news for us. He says, breaking news, Auburn and Tennessee suck. Yo, they're still, those teams are still playing basketball. Good basketball teams. I think Auburn, Florida, Bama, even Kentucky, man. Kentucky and Tennessee, I think they can match up soon. Army also chimes in and says, your thoughts on DK said about Grubb. I think he's being a diva. Yeah, so thanks for bringing that back up. So if you guys want to watch this, go type in on YouTube, Marshawn Lynch podcast. And I think it was last week, and he had DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf is talking about his relationship with Ryan Grubb and saying that him and Tyler Lockett, wide receivers, they were on a group chat with Ryan Grubb, probably Jackson Smith and Jigba as well, and Geno Smith. And they would basically break down corners that they were going to play each Sunday. What this guy did in press coverage, what he did on, down and distance, whatever it was. And that they never really got feedback from Ryan Grubb, and that he felt that Ryan Grubb, there wasn't a lot of symmetry or connection with him. GLX, my first 30 minutes of the show were basketball. So if you didn't catch it on the beginning, just rewind it and you could watch it. I went over basketball pretty, some comprehensive coverage there. I appreciate it. I mean, we've just kind of morphed into a Q&A on the back end. All right, fam. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching my show today and supporting Bama football on YouTube. If you're a fan funder, you could also, this is other ways to support Bama football on YouTube. Buy me a coffee or whatever, Bama football on YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, talking Alabama basketball and football and news as it happens. Kyle Henderson and Bama football on YouTube. Have a blessed day. Stay where your feet are at, and I will catch you soon. Right.